It's time we talked about this. It's time we talked about how Web 2.2 or Web 2.0 is transitioning into Web 3.0, and how does that affect the real estate world and what are the transitions happening there? Here's what I know. I have been in the real estate space for many, many years. I was one of the 30 under 30 for Realtor Magazine, and understanding this and unpacking this is going to make significant impact on your life, whether you know it or not. So buckle up. We're going to take a couple minutes and walk through this. So here's what Web 2.0. Web 2.0 was, it was all about buying your attention and selling your data. In Web 2.0, your attention was the currency, right? Your attention, if someone could get your attention, they could sell that or sell you, whatever. Attention was the currency. In Web 3.0, it's about giving you back the control. It's about getting rewarded for things you create, whether it's an NFT and you get reward on that, right? Ongoing, not just one time. It's about you having ownership, and that's your currency. The currency now is getting paid for what you make, getting paid for what you put on the internet, etc. Right? Web 2.0 was about, only a few were really profiting, right? Companies like Instagram, Facebook, a handful of people were really profiting. And Web 3.0 is about redistributing wealth in a whole new manner, which is incredible. Web 2.0, it was hard to get access. It was hard to start, right? It was hard to start things. You had to have big infrastructure. You had to have huge teams, right? Think about starting a blog or a website, 10 years ago compared to the 3 clicks that it takes today, right? It's very easy to get into now, right? Back in Web 2.0, you had to provide everything. You had to provide things from start to finish. Now you're able to lean in on specific niches more than ever before. Right before it had to be built, platforms and things had to be built broadly. Now we can build them for the niches. So here's what's interesting. Web 2.0, last point on Web 2.0 is it was built for work to be done in one place, right? Like sit down at your stationary computer and work there for the day. Web 3.0 is built to be mobile. It's built for you to do life anywhere at any time, everything on your phone. Here's where that gets into real estate brokerages. And this is where it gets cool. Real estate brokerages, right? Years ago, it was really tough to start a real estate brokerage. You had to have a ton of money, or you had to have a lot of different investors. It took a ton to get approved, to get a franchise, to start a real estate brokerage. Now, my brokerage within a brokerage, right? I just happen to choose, EXP because I believe it's by far the greatest opportunity in the real estate 3.0 world. But whether it's EXP or it's a couple of the other options, it's easy to start. I now have 105 people in my brokerage within a brokerage, right? And it cost me nothing to get started, right? Back in the day, a brokerage or an individual if you want to start a brokerage or whatever, you had to provide everything. Now, right, because I'm supported by this entire amazing, right organization, I'm able to provide my piece. I'm able to provide coaching and motivation, etc. But I don't have to provide all the other stuff. If they have questions about tech or any broker questions, whatever, all of that is provided by the umbrella that is taking care of us, right? Back in the day, it was built for a broad base of users, right? Real estate companies used to be built for, big agents, little agents, right? They were trying to be everything to everyone. Now I can choose what I pay attention to. I don't have to go to every class. I don't have to pray that the class I want to take is going to be provided this month. Now, all of that is provided, and I can pick and choose what I want to spend time on and ignore the rest. Right? Real estate 2.0 is built to be done within a brick and mortar, which I don't know why we ever did that for real estate agents. Right? Most real estate agents are mobile people, right? We've been chained to desk for a long time, and now that the internet and our opportunities and resources, everything else, tech has finally caught up. During the pandemic, what was cool is for our agents, nothing changed, right? They were able to work in their spaces all over the place. Not being able to quote unquote go work out of the office didn't affect their lives at all, right? And yet you see so many of these brokerages that are still trying to justify all this money in my perception, they're taking away from the agents to be able to provide a brick and mortar and a front desk person and a copier and all this other crap that most agents don't utilize or need and don't realize that they're actually paying for it. Here's what's cool, right? Because we don't have brick and mortar, because we're not paying for 18 levels of management, that money you're bringing to the brokerage is now able to be redistributed to you, right? It makes so much more sense. Like if you look at, Real Estate 2.0, profits, the real profits were for a few. You did a transaction, you had to go back out there and do another one. The real profits were a handful of people that took the risk to start the company, which makes sense, right? The handful of people that started. Now, right, we're able to take that same money that was going to the 18 levels of management, going to brick and mortar, going to all these other things we didn't need, and we're able to give that back to the agents through revenue share, through stock, through all these other incredible levels. Here's what's interesting. Web 2, Real Estate 2.0, it was hard to find opportunities. There's multiple times I tried to get into an ownership group. I tried to buy ownership in an office, or I tried to start an office on my own. There's multiple things I tried to do. It was very, very tough, right? Now, I have my brokerage within a brokerage that is thriving, right? And it was very simple to, I'm not saying it's all easy, but it was simple and it was so incredible compared to the pains that we have to go through in the past, right? Here's what the biggest thing I think that is different, right? And when you really understand, Web 2.0 versus Real Estate 2.0 or Web 2.0, you begin to really understand Real Estate 2.0 versus Real Estate 3.0. Real Estate 2.0, as a salesperson, you were paid once in one way, right? You closed the transaction, you got paid, the end, right? Just like a piece of art, right? If you look, years ago, you would sell a piece of art. Whatever you made in that art was your commission, and you never got paid for that art again. It might change hands 15 more times. You never got another check. When you look at real estate, here's what's incredible. Now, through Real Estate 3.0, through what we're doing in EXP, you do a transaction, you're paid multiple ways, right? And the agents that you bring in and the business you build, you're paid multiple ways. Your stock continues to increase in value. All these other things that continue to happen. It's like nowadays when you sell an NFT, right? Or when you sell a piece of art on the internet, when you sell an NFT, you can set up how much you're going to make every time that piece of art sells. You can set up a 5% thing, right, built into the blockchain, that every time that art sells for the next 1,000 years, right, you're getting a small piece of that. You're paid over and over and over and over and over. See, what most people don't want to acknowledge is Real Estate 2.0 was great. There was a lot of good opportunities in there, and it's done. Right? Whether they realize it's dead or not, it's a dying model, because something so much greater has come along. The technology, the knowledge, everything else has allowed us to transform into this incredible new world where now someone like myself, instead of putting out tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of money to start my own brokerage and have a full-time life-sucking job, I'm able to start it with basically nothing, bring in the people I love, care about, with all the support in the world, and just do my piece and see them build wealth because they're getting paid multiple ways that are in alignment with the world we live in now. So check out Real Estate 3.0. Let's have a conversation about the impact it can have in your business. And if you look at it and your decision is, hey, this isn't right for me, I want to stay in 2.0, cool, awesome, I'll respect that. We'll high five, and I'll buy the next round of pizzas. And yet you owe it yourself to understand. It's just like you owe it yourself to understand NFTs and blockchain and all of these cryptocurrencies and everything. It's coming, whether you invest in it or not. I totally get it, but you need to understand that the world has changed and how much opportunity there is for you to dramatically change the trajectory of your financial situation in your life. All right, my friends, I'm Coach Wayne Salmans.